Hey, Lake Grove family. Here's the video devo for story number 299 in our 365 storybook. And the story is called Trees That Walk. It's on page 340, so if you haven't read it yet, this is your chance. Yesterday, Mark preached about someone who had a hard time hearing and speaking, and Jesus healed him. In today's story, the malady is blindness. Some of you know the story, a different story, about the blind beggar Bartimaeus of Jericho. One time when Jesus was walking by in Jericho, Bartimaeus heard the commotion and shouted out loudly, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus did. And then Jesus highlighted the connection between faith and healing by saying to Bartimaeus, "It's your faith that's healed you." As far as we know, Jesus never touched Bartimaeus at all. But this is a different story, and Jesus heals this blind man in a different way. We're not even sure this blind man has any faith. He doesn't come to Jesus because he believes in him. No, this guy is dragged to Jesus by his friends who may have faith. At least they seem to have hope that Jesus can help their friend. And once again, Jesus is willing to help. And the way he helps, step by step, builds a connection to the guy that I believe also builds up his faith. What are the steps of faith and healing in this story? Well, first, Jesus takes the man by the hand and leads him out of the village where they will be less distracted. Physical touch with the Lord of the universe. I'll bet that healing is already happening. And as Jesus helps him safely negotiate his way out of the village, the man is gaining confidence in Jesus. But wait, what happens next? The Bible says literally that Jesus spits on the man's eyes. Yuck. Maybe he just gently rubbed some spit on his eyes, but in any case, it's another physical touch. Hey, by the way, the Greek word for spit is interesting. It's ptuo. It starts with PT, and it makes sense. It's onomatopoeic. Ptui. Now comes the third touch. Jesus puts his hands on the man's eyes, and the man begins to regain his sight. He can kind of see people walking around, but he can't make out any details. They might as well be trees. So Jesus touches him a fourth time on the eyes, and this time the man can now see clearly. And Jesus sends him home to his family, where, as our story speculates, he would see his wife and children clearly for the first time. I love that. But what's happening here? Why did Jesus have to keep on trying until the man's sight came back all the way? Why couldn't he get it right the first time? Well, of course, he could have. But I think the reason he didn't is because he knew what this particular blind man needed. So he brought him along gradually rather than healing him instantly with a thought or a single word. And perhaps in that process, he gave the man trust in him along with his sight. And this interpersonal wisdom from Jesus offers us an example that I think we can apply to our own lives. There is no single formula for helping people with their faith. There is no one method for sharing the gospel that'll work for everyone. We have to size up each person with compassion and treat them individually. There's a whole lot we can learn from the examples Jesus gives us. And no matter how often I read his stories, I'm always learning something new and useful. I hope that's true for you too. God bless you today, and I'll see you next time.